Welcome along to the shoutiest segment on Irish radio. It's the scintillating, it's the stupefying, it's the splendido crappy quiz. Every Friday we pit three of Team Off the Ball up against one another in a no-holds-barred quiz of sporting factoids at the end of the week. Allow me to welcome today's contestants. Our first contestant today is still enraged by Jake White's comments about Connacht last week and those who can't make it at the top level moving from east to west. But as this contestant knows, people can move from west to east too. After all, he did move from the west side of Athlone to the east side of Athlone and hasn't looked back since. It's Leinster's favourite Connacht person, Adrian. Who's your daddy, Barry?
I thought that was a Nathan introduction here. I couldn't give it. How are you getting on about what Jake White had to say? What did you say? I moved from the west side to the east side.
I mean, you can't. You look at the
other way around.
Dissecting the jokes and ruining them.
That wasn't really a joke, to be honest with you.
I don't know what it was,
clammy
George,
hand,
to be honest with you.
comedy
You
death.
probably hit the nail on the head there. I'm really not sure. There was certainly nothing based on any fact in there.
But you're from the Connacht side of Athlone.
Incorrect.
Okay, move on.
He's from Mullingar.
Are you from Mullingar?
We all know that. He pretends to be from
Nice one.
Athlone.
Why would you be
himself
calling me
seem
the Athlone
sophisticated.
Bone if I'm from Mullingar?
I forgot about that. First stage of being from Mullingar is acceptance, Adrian, I think.
No, I'm from the Westmeath side of Athlone, and very clearly so. End of.
Our next contestant today is lording it over everyone after a wildly successful few weeks. He finally feels now that he has got redemption for every single negative moment in his life. That's right, this man is 60 points clear of his children in his family fantasy football league. Can you guess which kids are going to lose all of their communion money next May? Give it up for the beast of Ballyhaunis, Nate Dog Murphy.
It's true. It's very true. They keep making stupid mistakes. They won't listen to me, but it means that I do
You just called your kids stupid on the radio.
every Sunday. You know, I've got those bragging rights, which is all that matters.
That's why Nathan's doing all those mixtures. It's so that he can pay for the very expensive therapy bills that his kids are going to have for when they eventually come to adulthood. And they're like, yeah, my dad used to go on the radio and give out about my fantasy football skills.
What mixers?
Are there Nixers?
This is news to me.
Our last contestant today is back after a borderline nihilistic act of self-sabotage in Naas last weekend. His tyre survived the darkest moments in what was the perfect preparation for Ultimate Hell Week 2022. Give it up for the artist formerly known as the Mustachioed Menace, Ger Gilroy.
Coming back, it's nearly October.
It is nearly November, indeed. We bringing it back?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. You're welcome. You're welcome to the studio. It's good to have you back. It is Ger versus Nathan versus Adrian. Kenny Cunningham has been ruthlessly ditched this week from the lineup. As ever, the format is a classic crappy quiz with a series of questions on a range of themes. Then it's on to the slip and slide of trivia, which is the rapid fire round. You can podcast a crappy quiz on otbsports.com or on the OTB Sports app. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click the thumbs up, even if we contribute nothing but misery to your morning. Please send any questions you have via postcard to Crappy Quiz Quizmaster, Off the Ball Towers, Marconi House, Diggs Lane, Dublin 2. Round 1 is the boring questions round. Never multiple choice. Question 1 is for you, Adrian. Name the 2 Irish head coaches of URC teams.
Wow.
Rugby man.
What was the question? Sorry, I was reading the paper.
There are 2 Irish head coaches in the URC.
Head coach specifically.
Reading the
is what
paper's
you're asking me.
cheating.
Well, I'm reading the paper about the option B and I'm trying to
question.
keep up with modern times, Nathan.
The
Paper's
head coach
very
is your
good.
specific question, is it?
Yes.
This is became boring now. Answer it. Bing, 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 ding. Come on, sound effects. Thank you.
No.
Yeah,
there's no
it's
side
time is
effects.
up.
It's not. It's come on, Adrian. Give me one at least.
What? How long is he gonna get?
If
The
you-
buzzer's already gone.
Come on.
It's okay. Time's up,
Oh,
Adrian.
jeez, I
You
blanked.
completely blanked.
What have we got?
Anyone?
Leo Cullen.
Leo Cullen is one.
No, but he's not the head coach. That's why I asked you that
No, he
question.
is.
He is the
Yeah,
head coach.
yeah.
Ah, for Jesus Christ. That's literally why I... Is he?
Yeah,
Really?
he is.
Is he not director of rugby?
No.
He's his head coach. And the other one? Michael Bradley of Zebre.
Yeah.
They were pretty obvious.
I
would've
should have
thought.
got the first. Well, you didn't know either of them when he threw it out to the floor.
Well, I'm too busy reading the papers.
Nathan, who
Yes.
is the top scorer overall across all groups in the European section of qualifying for the 2022 World Cup?
Go on, give us the cycle.
Well, my short list, Adrian, is
Heyo. Always a good judge of a short list.
Nathan's at the sharp end this morning. He's not.
Come on.
Ronaldo.
No, it's not Ronaldo.
Erling Haaland.
No, it's Memphis Depay with 9 goals.
Wow, Memphis.
Sure. Newcastle United are almost certainly going to break their transfer record fee in the next transfer window. Can you name any of the players that currently occupy their 3 most expensive players of all time?
Alison Maximum.
No. Too quick.
Alan Shearer.
Joe
No.
Linton.
Joe Linton is number 1, Nathan, correct. Number 2 is Joe Willock. And number 3,
Andy Carroll.
Jeff Hendrick.
Michael Owen.
Wow, how much did they spend for Michael Owen?
30 million maybe, something like that.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I think so. Joe Linton is like
You'd wanna-
35
wanna
million.
be more than I think so.
Yeah,
You wanna know
exactly.
so.
I mean, I still think Adrian has a case about director of rugby, but sure, look.
Looking that up here.
He lost that point. He's looking it up. He's looking it up. He's on the internet.
I'm looking up Leo.
You're
He's on the
internet.
internet.
Round
He's on
2,
the
let's
internet.
go.
Come on. Close down this.
Record transfers. Michael Owen, sorry, is 22.5 million pounds, but you know, close enough to 30 million euros. Joe Linton was 39 million pounds, and Joe Willock was 26 million pounds. We move on to round 2.
They're all very different numbers, but anyway, make him close his laptop.
I have to accept. I have to accept when I'm in the wrong. It's Leo Cullen, head coach.
He needs to close his laptop.
No, I need to be in
Come on,
communication
Come
with
on.
the producer.
No,
Come
no,
on.
no, you don't.
here,
You
here.
actually don't. He can shout in your ear. Come on.
Quizmaster, sort it
You're
out.
experienced enough now. You can talk in your ear and you can talk at the same
Crack
time.
on.
Come on.
Round 2
Pat
is
your belly and rub your head. Look at this. He's got it open.
Yes, come on.
Put him
move
down
on,
on the
move on.
ground.
Round 2 is the International Men of Mystery round. To mark the end of another glorious international break, I'm going to give you the name of a country, and all you've got to do is name any player who has ever played in the Premier League from that country. Adrian, Estonia.
Crying out loud.
So you want somebody from this country who's played in the Premier League? So
Yes.
I got distracted by the newspaper again.
Yes.
Right.
Are there Estonian footballers on the front page of the Irish Times Sports section this morning?
Stop. This is absolutely ridiculous. Estonia. Sammy
never gonna get
Hoopier's
one.
brother. I have no idea.
In fairness, you can get a ferry from Estonia to Finland. It's
Can we
a-
just
Mart
pause,
Poom.
pause for a
Nathan,
moment?
yep.
Sammy Hoopier's brother was his answer.
Like, I haven't a clue.
Who?
So-
What's the name of the
His
Estonian
brother.
footballer? Adrian Barry on the record said Sammy Hoopier's brother.
You were giving out earlier on about explaining the gag. That was the gag. I don't know is
Okay,
the answer. I have no
okay,
idea.
okay.
Nathan, there's been one other than Mart
Definitely a
Poom.
gag. It was definitely
Marion Pahars.
No, he's Latvian.
That next question.
Liverpool player.
Switch that out.
Marion Pahars.
Ragnar Klavan was the other Estonian
Wow.
player.
That was tough now. I hope the rest of them are as tough.
Nathan, the country
Yes.
for you is Kenya.
Oh.
Premier League commentator. All around Billy Big Balls when it comes to football. Bit of a quiz
Good,
geek.
just a good question. Good question.
Kenya.
People are screaming at the radios right now.
We haven't yet.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's a country in Africa, of course, famous for its coffee.
I'm thinking Southampton.
The runners,
Yeah, the runners.
Maasai tribe,
I'm thinking Southampton.
Brother Colin.
good safari. Of course, that story this week could easily venture into partridge territory here.
Nathan, I'm going to need to push you for an answer.
Come on, Nathan, say something, anything.
Please.
Mario Lemina.
No, you were a long.
I say Mario Pahars there. That was
I think if we'd left you another 5 minutes, you would have got there. The answer is Victor Wanyama,
I knew there was a Southampton midfielder.
Wow.
the only Kenyan who's ever played in the Premier League.
a bad moment for Nathan.
Sure, this you should get this. Honduras.
I think he's challenging the "you should get this" theory.
Can you name a Honduran Premier League footballer?
Or just any Honduran footballer. Is that not the actual challenge here? It's just saying a name of somebody from that country.
Oh,
I can't.
and
Yes.
whose brother are you opting for?
There's like is it a right winger? Am I in the right area of the pitch?
Honduras and a right winger, probably.
In terms of taking a stab at a rough area.
I thought it was
Right winger.
goalkeeper
Come
centre
on.
back for Estonia.
This
and I
is
was
Murphy
correct.
levels
Come on,
of
let's go.
distraction.
Give us a guess.
It's not. It's a striker. It's it's one of those strikers who would score in patches.
No, come on. Were you
It's
thinking of Rodiega or someone like that? I don't know. No, that's not the answer. You got Wilson Palacios. Yeah. Maynor Figueroa was the other one. Then you've also got Roger Espinoza, Ivan Guerrero, Milton Nunez, and Hendry Thomas. But Palacios and Figueroa, probably the two most famous. So we are 2 rounds in. It is 0-0 as we move on to round 3, which is the sportsbook on or near the quizmaster's desk round. Bringing back a classic.
Where's the round from last week that everyone thought was a massive success? The first time anyone's ever complimented your quiz.
What was it?
And you decided to get rid of
Nathan did really well at it, Ger. This is
Well,
the short story.
I only listen to the opinions that are most acutely put to me, and the acute opinion on the show last week was that it was a disaster of a round, that it was this weird experimental stuff that you guys didn't get.
It
So
definitely was
we put
weird.
it on ice for a little while.
Nathan got a couple of the answers right. Now he's all in, even though he doesn't still fully understand the rules
We're
himself.
bringing back a classic crappy quiz round this week. This round will test your knowledge on a sports book that happens to be near my desk in the office. This week, the book is The Last Line, My Autobiography, by, of course...
I have
We
no
asked him,
idea.
What's
Ollie
Baker.
It's Packy Bonner's book. I mean, guys, come on. The Last Line. So,
How is Packy Bonner's book on your desk? It must have come out in like 1993 or 97.
2015.
Oh, really? A new book?
Yeah.
Who wrote it?
The last line.
I don't know. The Last Line, yeah.
Why
Not
is
finished
Packy
yet, though,
Bonner's
Packy.
book called
Packy's
that?
one of the most influential and important voices in Irish football at the moment.
He would argue that he's one of the last lines of defence.
Him and Waterford Crystal,
Okay.
they had the same name in their autobiography.
Can you libel a horse?
Adrian, question 3 for you. It wouldn't be Packy Bonner's autobiography without talking about Italian 90 and his mad face that he used to scare his Dutch opponents in Palermo. Bonner says in the book that he wasn't even trying to scare his Dutch opponents. Rather, he was angry at one of his teammates for repeatedly looking for the short ball. Which teammate was this? Was it A, Mick McCarthy, B, Steve Staunton, or C, Kevin Moran?
Well, the short ball back then was probably still 50 yards away. He was looking up the pitch when he did it. He wasn't looking across the defence. So I got to go for Kevin Moran.
No, it was Mick McCarthy.
What?
Mick McCarthy apparently came up to him repeatedly during the game looking for the short ball. He's like, go.
The only thing about that is that obviously you could just give it straight back to him. So you could get the
Fair
ball
point.
off the goalkeeper and give it straight back to him.
Which he would have
That's
done.
still a
is what
play
you're
Italian
saying.
90?
1990, yeah.
Right, well, Mick McCarthy's the answer there. We've still yet to score a point here, guys. Nathan, in Bonner's book, we are regaled with tales from the 2002 World Cup and, of course, Saipan, which includes him saying that his own bust-up with Roy Keane went viral. He also tells this story, and I wanted you to fill in the blank here now. I've forgotten to bring the book in with me, so I can't actually read. That's the thing. But I've got him telling the story on a different platform.
I don't even
I've got him
understand
telling the
this.
story,
What's
so fill in the
happening
blank
here?
here.
Oh my
Fill in the
God.
blank here. It's the same story. He told it somewhere else. So, fill in the blank. I've got to blame blank for Roy, says Bonner, complete with a wry smile. I'm going to blame everything on blank because when we were heading out to Saipan, we were in Amsterdam airport. You remember that skit on Today FM, Roy Radio, and blank had it on his laptop. I remember him playing it and all the boys gathering around and having real fun listening to Roy's voice. Roy was sitting up about 20 yards away reading his book and you could see the steam coming out of his ears. Who is the blank in this case?
I mean, it's obviously really...
Oh,
it's
sorry, it's multiple choice. A,
multiple choice, no! No, it's an important bit of no.
Think about it.
It's almost as if like I didn't write this. A, Niall Quinn, B, Ian Hart, or C, Shay Given.
Well, in my head was Shay Given, so I'm going to go with Shay Given.
You would have wanted to have got that right because I think I'm reading it from OTBSports.com and he's telling this at a roadshow and I'm pretty sure you represented
No,
the
I
roadshow.
didn't. I didn't.
You didn't do that one.
that
Okay,
roadshow.
fair enough.
Kev did that, did he?
It was 2020.
Oh no, okay. So it wasn't Shay Given telling the story. It was obviously
It was Packy Bonner telling the story. Yeah.
Packy Bonner and Shay Given together.
Together, yeah.
right.
Right. question 3 for you, Ger.
That was a bit of a fix. He would have organised both
Total
those
fix,
guests, knowing that
exactly.
they were together and knowing that this was one of those stories
He
he
would
was
have
going to
poured
tell.
over those interviews about 14 times before they went to air. Ridiculous.
In his book, Ger, Packy Bonner reveals his opinion that the Thierry Henry handball was karma for a previous bit of fortune that had gone in Ireland's favour. Was it karma for A, Roy Keane getting sent home from Saipan, which was actually a massive boon for the team? B, the referee not awarding a penalty against Shea Given when he took Ruud van Nistelrooy down in the 2001 Lansdowne Road game? Or C, the referee not spotting Bonner off his line for every single Romanian penalty at Italia 90? Which of those 3 things was an evil committed by Ireland that was karma?
If it's A, then we're going to have words, Packy. Is it what? So his wry smile is obviously the giveaway from the previous one. Is it karma for him being off his line for every penalty, or Shea? It's his book. Makes more sense for him to be telling the story against himself as opposed to for Shea, because then, although it's the same group.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hear you, Nathan.
This
I gotta go
This is what
for
it sounds like listening to you answer a question.
for him being off his line.
No, that's not correct. Shea Given. He feels that was when he saw the Henry handball, he was like, "That's karma." Because
Well, at
it
least
shouldn't
Ger
be
got a
penalty.
50-50 question anyway, Nathan. You know, we had 3 options to deal with. Ger got a 50-50
I had
straight
3
up.
options.
Phone a friend. I mean, the first one was a joke answer.
The scores are Nathan 1, Adrian 0, Ger 0. Round 4 is the fun free magic number round.
The good round last week. I don't know what was so good about it.
It was so good, Jerry. You should have been there.
Grim.
I'm
Contestants.
serious. Afterwards, literally everybody was like, "Great round, great edition, got to be in every week."
Yeah, but at the time, you were like, "Oh, Owen's gone all experimental again." Like, this was my Kid A moment, and you just didn't
Exactly.
appreciate it.
No, and Kid A, afterwards everyone went, "Wow, actually better than their other stuff."
I agree. And you just didn't appreciate it at the time, but look, we move on. Contestants get 3 points for getting the number exactly right in round 4. If no one manages that, the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points. The second closest gets 1 point. I'm going to state that we can only accept the answer that's written on your paper. I'm also going to have to ask for your pens once the music ends. So if you don't mind, give us the following number. The number of goals Katie McCabe has scored in the Women's Super League so far this season, plus the number of players Stephen Kenny has handed senior international debuts to as Republic of Ireland manager, plus the number of tries Munster have scored in their 3 URC games so far this season, plus the number of senior international caps won by Chidozie Ogbenny. Your 30 seconds expire when Sinatra sings Bright Shiny Beads.
What's the second one?
The second one is the number of players Stephen Kenny has handed senior international debuts to as Republic of Ireland manager. The first one is the number of goals Katie McCabe has scored in the Women's Super League so far this season. Then you've got the number of tries Munster have scored so far in the United Rugby Championship. And then how many caps does Chidozie Ogbenny have so far? Add them all up. So what do you get?
I couldn't have read my own writing there for a minute.
Nathan, what have you got?
33.
33. Adrian?
23.
23.
29.
The answer is 34. So Nathan gets a 2, Ger gets 1. Nathan once again nailing the rapid fire round, or the numbers round I should say. Let's go through these. So the number of goals McCabe has scored in the WSL,
3.
3. The number of players Kenny has handed international debuts to,
9.
At 11.
13.
11. Bazunu, Kelleher, Omobamidele, Nathan Collins, McGrath, Knight, Malumbi,
And 2 from
Ida,
2 so far.
Bene, Darrow O'Shea and Manning. The number of tries Munster have scored so far in the league is 17.
Oh, jeez.
And Chidozie Ogbenny has 3 senior international
I
caps.
had 3 of the 4 answers spot on.
That's so unlucky, man.
Well done.
What do I get? Is there
Special
some sort
prize.
of runner-up prize?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like
A couple of extra points.
Just the 3 behind Nathan. You can catch him.
participation trophy.
We move on to the final.
So what's the score?
3-1-0.
Presume you fix this so that he doesn't get to just go first and that's the end of it.
Well, we'll see.
That's like the shittest competition of all time.
Well,
It's
it's
like
been this
you're-
shitty competition for about 5 years now. So
Yeah, and it's crap.
Get on
We've
with it.
realised, you know, like
What, rewarding failure?
we've taken the evidence. We've seen that it's bad and that it doesn't lead to competition, and we're continuing. We're continuing with the old ways. not the
Status quo.
quo.
You're not allowing
Status
Ger
quo.
for the fact that the first 2 questions are loaded.
I mean, how can you give anybody
Are we still
any
doing
grief
that?
when you can't get your own house in order, Sheehan? You're a hypocrite.
Well,
the first 2 questions are loaded, though.
what do you mean they're loaded?
Let's
They're
not forget.
the
Gilroy
hardest
wants
questions
to
going,
reward
right?
Failure.
I mean,
That used to
sometimes
be a
they are.
thing.
sometimes.
I want competitive balance, Nathan. That's all. It's not
No, what you
rewarding
want
failure.
is to be able to underperform and underperform and underperform, yet still get one final get-out clause.
We are up against it, so we move on to the final. Our winner tonight will be decided in the round that separates the men from the boys, the Jeff Hendricks from the Jeff Bezoses. It's a no team in particular, ridiculously easy rapid fire round. The score you get in this round will be added to your score in the previous round. There will be 40 seconds for everyone to answer from the same set of questions. You've got to pluralise it, Nathan. We've got to start with the person with the highest number of points. That's Nathan. Then onto the person in second, and then onto the person in last, which is Adrian. If you get a question correct, I'll ask you a question and keep asking you questions. It's Bezai actually is the plural until you get one wrong, and then once you get a question wrong, I move on to the next person, and you get deducted a point. Nathan Murphy, are you ready?
Always.
Your 40 seconds starts now. What US state is Deontay Wilder from?
Pass.
Too long.
New Jersey.
Alabama. Next up is Ger. Georgie Kelly plays for which League of Ireland club?
Bohemians.
Correct. Name the Kansas City head coach.
Andy Reid.
Correct. Who won the Masters this year?
Bryson.
No, Matsuyama. Leanne Kiernan plays for what club, Adrian?
Liverpool.
Correct. Who's top of the Premier League?
Chelsea.
Correct. Does Niall Morgan play club football for Eden Dork or Errigal O'Kieran?
Dork.
Correct. Which championship team plays at Bloomfield Road?
Birmingham City.
No, Blackpool. Who were Nations League champions before France, Nathan?
Portugal.
Correct. Who is the new Cork football manager?
Ricken. Keith Ricken.
No, that's wrong. He's wrong.
Keith Ricken. So,
Keith Ricken. Yes.
you said Deeth Ricken.
Keith Ricken.
He's like a Game of Thrones character.
I heard Ricketts.
Keith Ricken.
I heard Ricketts.
Either way, you're safe, Nathan. I don't think you're going to be caught there because, Ger, you ended up gaining 1 point, which brings you to 2. Nathan would stay at 3, given what he had currently done there. And
3 points.
Adrian got +2 as a result of what he did, which brings him up to 2. So you did well, guys. If you'd got Bloomfield Road as Blackpool, you would have caught
Another
Nathan.
couple
But
of seconds.
Nathan, congratulations. Let's play the music.
Champ. Play my music.
The game is fixed.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Everybody knows the dice are loaded.
Well, my daughter looks delighted here. She's like,
Everybody
I'm only 10
knows.
minutes late for school because you did this bloody quiz. So.